Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. We are now amidst the summertime, and summertime, for whatever reason, is a time that it's customary that people do a lot of trips and a lot of fun and games. So perhaps it's a moment or two that we should stop and review some of the important halachas that we should remember before we head out for a journey and we're going for a long ride. And maybe our choices of what we should do as fun should be more settled. First of all, the Gemara, the Yerushalmi in Brachas Perek Daled Halacha Daled says, Kol hadrachim becheskas sakana. You have to remember that staying at home, hopefully the Eibishter has granted us that when you're home, you're safe. You leave your house, you're going on a journey, you have to look at it, especially the olden times. I mean, there is some form of it that still applies today, but every trip that you take, there is a form of danger. And uvechein, therefore, based on that, you have to do whatever you could to attach yourself to a security policy. What is the security? So there's different things that we do. We know that when you go on a trip, you are a shliach mitzvah. Shliach mitzvah, the Chazal tell us, ein in the zaykin won't get harmed. Loi ba'alichasam v'loi ba'chazirasam. It says in Shulchan Aruch that before you go on a trip, it is customary to get a bracha from the Gadol Shebe'ir. And in Achrayim, the Mishnah Berurah, and many other places, they speak about if you're taking a trip that's a couple hours long, there's a list of things that you should be aware of what you should take along just in case. Bread. Sometimes different tzaddikim would say make sure you have an extra pair of tzitzis. If it's close enough to Shabbos, you have wine. But all these issues, you just don't pick up and go into a car and drive and go through wherever you have to go. You have to check the Shulchan Aruch and see what's the right way to do it. For example, in Gemara it actually says that when you're heading out for a trip, it's best la'olam yetze adam b'chi toiv v'yikonis b'chi toiv. It's preferable that when you leave the trip, it should still be light. Don't leave when it's dark already, and enter the city that you're getting to also when it's light. It's kind of difficult when you're taking a long trip, and actually in Shulchan Aruch, a lot of poskim don't even quote this Gemara halacha, but at least we should know that the Gemara says this, and especially that some poskim say it's brought in Sharim HaMitzayon and Ba'alacha that today's days where the streets, the highways are lit, have lights, then it obviously the problems of the old don't exist. But today's days there's some back highways, small roads that don't have lights. So you have to use your seichel when you're choosing when and where to go. You choose a place to have fun. I know that camping is a big hit for summertime, so you have to remember to sleep outside. The Gemara says, and the Gemara most probably is talking about a case where he's sleeping directly on the ground. We know that the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos says that a sign of a noble Talmid Chacham is one who is ala aretz tishan, one who is mistapik b'mu'ah, doesn't need luxury. He drinks water and he sleeps on the ground. Ala aretz tishan. The Yavitz has a question. That Mishnah of Ala Aretz Tishan contradicts the Gemara. The Gemara in Brachas Daf Samach Beis says, I'll call Mishkav Shchav. You could sleep anywhere. A person could choose to sleep anywhere. Chutz min hakarka. He shouldn't sleep directly on the ground. Why? Because the ground is cold, it's moist, and it's going to chas v'shalom can make a person sick. So even though you have your pajamas, you have your whatever, still, you have to be careful that your body is completely covered. And the Yavitz is forced to answer, what does the Mishnah say? What does the Mishnah mean? That it says, Ala Aretz Tishan. He's not allowing you to sleep taka Ala Aretz because it's dangerous. Ala Aretz Tishan means he's happy with not a very comfortable bed. He doesn't need a luxurious bed. But Ala Aretz, it's a danger. Then you move on, so you're looking for an activity. So the activity you find is a lake, swimming. So you have to know that not everywhere where there's water you're allowed to swim. Because Chazal tell us that some places where there's rushing water, it is prohibited to go in. The Gemara says, and the Alter Rebbe brings this in Shulchan Aruch, Asur laver b'nachal shemeim avreitvim. You're not allowed to go into a stream of water where there is rushing waters. Im hamayim magil m'maylim m'masnayim. If the waters are above your hips, it's dangerous. Mipnei asakana shema yishtafu hamayim. The rushing waters, chas v'shalom, could drag him in. So you have to be very careful to make the right choices. Not everything necessarily which is fun and games is always safe. And the Eibishter should help us, that it should be, the Eibishter should protect us, and the Yidden should always have shalom v'shalva.